This review is going to be of something I came across. I've been looking to find some kind of solar panel that I could take to the backcountry and use to charge batteries, to charge a rechargeable device where at night or on a rainy day when there's no sun, I can use that to recharge my devices. So that's my smartphone, my Android smartphone, the HTC HD2. It goes through batteries pretty quickly, so I wanted a way to not have to carry lots of extra rechargeable batteries. I got the charger from a place called Pocket Solutions. It's been very durable, it's been reliable, it efficiently uses up the entire charge that the battery's got to give without any losses. It's a great little charger. We'll look at that later. So I've used the Solio charger, the one that folds out into 3. That didn't work well at all. I could barely get any charge off of it, even in full bright Arizona sunlight in midday. It just wouldn't give much of a charge rate, so the output is not very good. The internal battery, I could never really charge that at all. I sent it back. I got a replacement, at least one, maybe 2 replacements on it, and all of them did the same thing. So I've had a total of 3 or 4 Solios. One of which was replaced at least once, and all of them just didn't work well. They all had the same problem. The internal battery just didn't give enough charge. The panels didn't output enough to charge my smartphone. So I went to the E2000 Solar. That's got a 2000 milliamp hour internal battery, and the most I could ever get out of that battery was 1200. Charging it from the wall, charging it from solar. The solar panels worked better on that one. Although the form factor was a little bit more problematic because of because it's all plastic, so it's not really flexible or anything like that. That would not charge my device like the Solio. It will not charge a device and the internal battery at the same time. It's supposed to, but it's so slow. It has such a low output, again in the Arizona midday sun, that it just wasn't worthwhile. So I sent that back and got it replaced, and the replacement did the same thing. The internal battery just does not hold its rated charge of 2000 milliamp hours. So that one went back and stayed back. The third unit had a lot of potential. It's very, very flexible. The panels are flexible. They're polycrystalline. I believe they're sprayed onto a substrate, but don't quote me on that. That panel was really nice. It has a it charges 2 AA's and it has a USB output. That one disadvantage is the output was really marginal. It did pretty well, much better than the Solio and the XP 2000. It would charge the batteries, but it would not charge AA batteries up to their capacity. The indicators that showed when it was charged and stuff would show a full charge when it was nowhere near its full charge. I could never get the batteries to charge fully. You can't use the USB output on it at the same time you're charging batteries. You have to use the batteries, and the output is not enough to be charging the batteries at the same time, replenishing the batteries at the same time you're charging. It just uses up the batteries and gives some charge while you're using the batteries. Not enough capacity on it. It's marginal for cloudy days, and if it's not a perfect angle to the sun, it just didn't work all that well. It had a lot of potential. The flexibility, the form factor, the lightweight, it's definitely the lightest on the market. They have a lot of, they got some good ideas with it. I thought it was a good charger, but the charging was just not adequate. It didn't make me feel like I could completely power my phone and the batteries and my flashlight batteries and stuff while I was out backpacking. Just wouldn't do it. So I came across this new company, Goal Zero. I tried this, this is the Adventure Kit. It's a fold-up panel. It's monocrystalline, so by a small margin, it's the most efficient. It outputs 7 watts. For example, the Brunton, it weighs, the Brunton Explorer, I think it is, it weighs 20% more and outputs 30% less power. That outputs 5 watts. This outputs 7 watts. And it does that. This is definitely the best panel I've had. We're on a backpacking trip now where I've been able to power my smartphone, flashlight, and recharge the batteries, the 4 AA batteries that I use for storage for recharging overnight. It's been able to power those every day, fill them up. For example, last night I accidentally let my smartphone discharge its battery down to 15%, which I hadn't anticipated. So it's been able to charge that up to 100%, charge the batteries up from 2/3 or 3/4 empty, and it's done that all today, and I still have plenty of sunlight left. So there's a number of really nice, well thought out features on this. The way it's constructed is pretty durable. It's all covered with Cordura nylon. It's got these nice loops on it all over the place. So I've been able to set up this little setup where I've got a single shot cord tied to this, and all I do is increase it or decrease it, and I can suspend it on anything. I've put this on my back of my backpack, and I've got an S-beaner on every corner, so that I can literally put this on just about anything. I can hang it from trees. I'll show you how I hang it from trees and charge my device with it. This is one of the central features of this. That's one of the best things I've ever seen on any of these. This is a multiple output. Here's a USB output. Here's so that's a 5-volt output. Here's a 6.5 output that charges the Guide 10 battery pack, and this is a plug for a 12-volt female cigarette lighter type receptacle. So you can literally, without special ordering and special this and that, all the different connector tips, every single device has the ability to have a cord that'll plug into a cigarette lighter to charge it. So you only need that, and not any of a slew of tips or anything. All you need is the car charger for your device, and that'll plug into this and it'll charge it. And it really works. I have been successfully able to charge the battery pack and my USB 5-volt device at the same time, and it actually does it. The 7 watts is enough output to do that. So here we're connecting the cord with a Guide 10 fast charge, 6.5 volts. Here's the Guide 10 battery pack. Here's another well thought out device. It holds the 4 batteries. It's got a nice little steel loop on it, so you can hang this if you want to. If you like to hang it out of the heat, if you want to. Up here, here's the 3-way switch for off, where I put it to charge it, on to plug in and charge a device, and then over here there's a flashlight on it. That on their website they say it lasts 20 hours on a set of AA's, but on a set of 4 AA's I've had this flashlight going for more than 100 hours, upwards of 120 to 150 hours, and it still has usable light. So it uses up much less battery power than it says. Here's a mini USB input if you want to wall charge it, and here's the solar input from here. So once you do that, point it toward the sun, you see it starts blinking red. So you've got a blinking red, and then up to about 50% power or so, it'll switch over to a slow green. And then about, in my experience, it's been more like 80 or 90% charge. It'll switch to a fast green blinking, and when it's solid green, then it's fully charged. So it's a really nice way of monitoring the charge of this and how much time you need. So I just simply slip it in like here, and I hook up to a tree and charge the battery pack, and I go look at it every once in a while. And this is my #1 recommendation. On this backpacking trip, I've been able to be completely off the grid, power into my devices, have an unexpected complete power drain of my smartphone, and still be able to charge every device and battery that I've got. And to me, that's it. It's a little heavy. It's heavier than the other one at the flexible one at what is it, like 12 ounces or so, but it's worth it. I've been able to leave each set of 4 rechargeable batteries is like 3.5 ounces or so. I've been able to leave all of those batteries at home. I have 1 set of batteries in here and my devices, and that's it. So it's not marginal power at all. It doesn't require direct sunlight. I've been able to go up to about 30 degrees off angle and still get full charges off the thing. It works really, really well in sunlight. Of course, this is all the Arizona sunlight, but I've used it when it's been cloudy on and off. I've used it backpacking on the back of my pack when the angle is really poor, and I'm in and out of shade and sun, and it's been able to maintain the charge on my smartphone while I'm using it for the GPS all day on the trail. So the performance of this Goal Zero Nomad 7 and Guide 10 battery pack, the adventure kit, the performance just speaks for itself. Nothing on the market comes close. Not for the price, not for the weight, not for the power output. Nothing comes close. And the bottom line is the customer service, some of the best customer service of any company, of any device, of anything I've ever used, bar none. It's as good as customer service of, for example, REI and Costco, and the best. They're extremely responsive. They're technically great. It's just the best on the market, and it's the one I'm going to be using for all of my daughter and I's backpacking trips and all of our trips where it's going to rain sometimes and be cloudy, because I know that it's a lot less marginal than any other setup on the market.